Push the turbo shaft back and forth while noting the reading on the dial indicator. The indicator movement should be between 0.025 and 0.152 millimeter. The turbocharger radial clearance should be checked every 3,000 hours. To check the radial clearance of the turbocharger bearings, position the feeler gauge between the compressor wheel and the housing. The clearance should be between 0.254 and 0.787 millimeter. Install the flange to the turbo compressor outlet with the notches for the retaining braces aligned with the compressor outlet housing. Torque it to specification. Loosen the compressor outlet pipe band clamp to enable alignment with the aftercooler air pipework. Install the turbo to the exhaust manifold and couple the airbox outlet hose. Use a new turbo to exhaust manifold gasket installed with raised groove uppermost. Align the turbocharger flange centrally on the exhaust manifold flange. Torque cap screws to specification. Ensure that the turbocharger bearing housing oil inlet and drain fittings are within 22 degrees of vertical. Connect the oil and coolant lines and torque to specification. Fit new O-rings to the air transfer pipe, lightly lubricate with vegetable oil, and insert the pipe fully into the turbo flange. Install new O-rings on the air transfer connection. And install to the aftercooler and pipe. Rotate the compressor outlet to achieve correct alignment. Fit the retaining braces to the turbocharger flange. Adjust the position of the air transfer connection on the pipe so that the remaining brace cap screws can be installed into the fittings on the air transfer connection with all the ball joints centralized. Fit and adjust the air transfer connection clamps with the cap screws hand tight. Check for correct pipework alignment and support. Ensure the gap between the end of the air transfer connection and turbocharger flange is even and square all the way round the joint, and the retaining brace ball joints are centralized. Torque the compressor securing band to specification. Torque the aftercooler flange cap screws to specification. Followed by the retaining brace cap screws to specification. Tighten the air transfer connection support bracket fixing followed by the clamps to the specified torque. Following installation, check that you can move the retaining braces on their ball joints. They will be tight, but a small movement should be possible. If not, realign all components. Reconnect the external exhaust pipework. Open coolant valves and restore all safety lockout measures taken. Check oil and coolant levels before and after testing, top up as required. Perform a gas leak test. For turbocharger removal, electrically and mechanically isolate the unit. Follow the recommended isolation procedures. Isolate the engine from the cooling system and drain the high-temperature coolant to a level just below the top of the block. Proceed to remove the turbocharger by reversing the installation sequence.